Are you getting ready for an end-of-year homeschool assessment or preparing for a portfolio review? Maybe you're just trying to put all of that used homeschool curriculum away. Well, if you fall into any of those categories, this video is for you. Hey guys, welcome back. In case you are new around here, my name is Sarah. I am the homeschooling mom to 5 kids. They range in age all the way from toddlers to teens, and we are wrapping up our 9th year of homeschool, and we're smack dab in the middle of summer, and that means it is assessment season. It is time for us to get ready for our portfolio reviews. Real quick, before we get into too many details, I do need to put a little disclaimer here. This video is about what works best for us, about how we do our portfolio reviews, our homeschool assessments, and I'm going to talk through this as if I am giving advice to a new homeschooler who's never done this process before. But please know that each state is different. Each person doing a portfolio review or a homeschool assessment may have different requirements or different requests. Make sure that you are following those guidelines above and beyond anything I'm going to say in this video. And if you have questions about that, I would definitely point you to HSLDA's website. That is the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. They are a really great resource for homeschoolers, and they outline on their website exactly what is legally required for each state for homeschoolers. So if you have questions about what is required in your state, head to HSLDA. All right, so step 1 in the process is to treat yourself. Grab yourself a big, indulgent coffee. Head to the coffee shop, get a huge frappuccino, extra whipped cream, extra topping, an extra shot of espresso. Maybe go ahead and let them add in a pastry alongside of it. Whatever it is that you think is fun or indulgent or a treat for you, grab that. This should be a reward. You have made it through another homeschool year. Pat yourself on the back and get yourself a treat. This is actually a little trick I keep up my sleeve for any time I have a task around the house that I am dreading or procrastinating or just really not wanting to tackle. I will pair it alongside of a treat or something fun. I will give myself an incentive or a little reward or a bribe to get myself to do that task at hand. I will pair it with a coffee or with a chocolate bar, or it doesn't have to be food, but something to make it a little bit more fun and get me to check it off my to-do list. So first things first, grab some coffee, grab some snacks, get comfortable. This is going to take you a little bit of time. This process usually takes me a good 1 hour per child, and that is if I am not distracted, not interrupted, and I am able to hone in and focus on the work at hand. So this means I have to block out time to get this done, and so I am purposely plugging in my kids this afternoon. My older kids are all watching a movie down in the basement, and my toddler is napping. So hopefully I will have a good 2 or 3 hour window here to get these portfolios done. And then just as a quick little side note, this might sound a little bit mean, but in my experience, getting ready for our homeschool assessments, putting together our portfolios is best done without my kids in the room. They get a little bit too sentimental, a little bit too attached to the work that they have done, and they want to keep and save everything. And I don't have room or time or space for that. So I make sure that my kids are off doing something else, completely distracted, not in the room when I am getting ready for our reviews. Next up, I make myself a checklist of curriculum or subjects, if you will. This will vary depending on what state you live in and what is required, where you are at, what your person who is assessing your kids requires for you to include in their portfolio. But make yourself a checklist of all of the items, all of the subjects that you need to cover for each of your children that you need to include and save work from. So for me personally, I just write this up on our whiteboard. I make myself a checklist of subjects for each one of my kids. In years past, I have also just printed out our notification forms that we sent in at the beginning of the school year, and I have used that as a guide of what curriculum we did, and that has really been helpful for me to kind of check things off as I go along. Having this checklist as a guide is really my little insurance policy that I don't forget anything, that I don't miss anything, that I don't skip one of the subjects that my kids worked so hard on. Next, it's time to go around and gather all of your used curriculum for the year. And if your house is anything like our house, this is not all stacked up neat and tidy on one little shelf in our homeschool room. No, this requires me to do some hunting and gathering. I have to go room by room throughout our house and find all of those math workbooks, the science projects, the handwriting worksheets that have somehow magically grown a pair of legs and walked and hid themselves in different various corners around our home. Once I have gathered all of our used curriculum and put it in piles here on the dining room table, now it is time to roll up my sleeves and start the difficult task of deciding what to keep and what to let go of. Now, I try to be as organized as I can for this process so I don't get overwhelmed, and I will work one child, one subject at a time. Last summer, right around this same time, I made an entire video devoted to setting up long-term homeschool storage. And I talked a lot about how to decide what to keep and what to get rid of or throw away. So I will put a link to that video right here if you are interested for more details. But in general, what I would encourage you to do is work through each subject and keep 3 to 5 worksheets or items that show progress or improvement for your child throughout the school year. Okay, so let's use Leah's Spelling UC workbook as an example. I will open this up and I will tear out 1 or 2 lessons from the beginning of the workbook, a couple of lessons from the middle of the workbook, and then 1 or 2 from the end of her workbook. Doing this will show that she completed all of the lessons from Spelling UC that year, but it will also show how her work improved and got better throughout our school year. It's very easy to compare those lessons from the beginning to the lessons at the end and see how well she did and how much improvement she made. And really, that's honestly what you want in your portfolio. You want to show that your child completed work and that they made improvements throughout the school year. Now, as I go through and sort each subject, the other thing that I do is I will either paperclip or use a stapler and put all of those subject worksheets together. And I also go ahead and write my child's name, the school year, and what grade I am attributing this work to. Just in case their curriculum is dropped or mixed up or anything like that, I know whose worksheets are whose and what year they belong to. Just a quick reminder to myself, I do not throw away any of our used curriculum, even the stuff that I am ready to let go of, throw in the trash, recycle, whatever. I do not get rid of any of that until after our portfolio reviews, our homeschool assessment appointment is complete. I don't want to get rid of things too early in case the person doing our assessments has an additional question or needs additional work to look at. Once you have completed your portfolio review and your assessment appointment is over, once you have checked off all of those legal homeschool boxes, then by all means celebrate. Have a used curriculum bonfire out in your backyard. Go for it. But just don't do that too early. Make sure that you have finished your portfolio reviews first. Now, moving on to what I call extra credit. This is the part of the process where I start writing down lists of items that are hard to prove that we did in our homeschool on paper. So I will write out a list of all of the books that I read aloud to my kids that year. I will make a list of all the books that each of them individually read on their own. I will write down all of the field trips and extra activities that we did in our homeschool. And in order to do this, I will grab my planner, I will pull up my Google Calendar, and I will look back at our year just to see what we did, what events I had on my calendar, because honestly, my summer brain is foggy and I can't remember all the things that we did back in October. So I make a list of all the extra credit things that we did that don't fit into a curriculum workbook. Now it is time for me to decide how I want to display or present each of my child's portfolios at their assessment. Do I want to put these in page protectors and put it in a 3-ring binder? Do I want to go and have it spiral bound at the office supply store? Do I want to buy a display book or presentation book off of Amazon or something really fancy? You can get really creative with this. I have seen homeschool moms that have made each of their children kind of like a mini homeschool yearbook where they include pictures and photos and all kinds of memorabilia and things like that in their book, and they have it all laminated and just gorgeously displayed. Right now in this season of life with 5 kids, 2 toddlers running around, I need to keep things simple and as easy as possible. I can't get lost in making this too aesthetically pleasing. And so this, guys, this is gonna make you laugh. I mean, this is really as simple as it gets. I take all of my kids' loose homeschool curriculum that I want to take for our appointment, and I just put it in a file folder. I grab their long-term homeschool storage bins out of the basement, and I grab the year for this year, 2020, 2021, and I put all of their used curriculum in that file folder. And I take it right to our appointment for our portfolio review and just have them flip through the file folder. Once we're done, I bring it home and I'm able to put it right back in the box, shove it down in the basement, and I'm done. I don't have to think about what I want to keep or have to organize it any more than that. It's done. As I said at the beginning of the video, normally this process takes me a good hour per child. And for me, with 3 kids, having a 3-hour project is something that I can kind of procrastinate or dread doing. But honestly, once I get started, once I start flipping through the work, I really enjoy doing this. It is nostalgic and fun and honestly rewarding for me as their homeschool teacher, as their homeschool mom, to see all of the work that we did this year, all of those hours that we poured into geometry or pre-algebra or writing papers. That portfolio review is my homeschool mom trophy. I am so proud of it. And so even though this process it's a lot of work, it is very rewarding and very fun and very encouraging for me to do every single summer. So if you are in the thick of it, if you are getting ready for homeschool assessments or starting to put together your child's portfolio review, I hope this video was helpful and an encouragement to you. If not, just to say you're not alone. I'm here trying to sort through all of this used curriculum too. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up, like it down below. If you have not done so, subscribe to our channel and leave me a comment. If you are getting ready for assessments or portfolio reviews, say hi down in the comments. Let me know that I'm in good company. Are you stealing my gummy bears?
No, I didn't touch one.
Would you like a gummy bear? I have been found. They are raiding my gummy bear stash. Time to go. Ezra, can you say see you later?
See you later.
See you later.